All right, there we go. It is December 14th. You guys probably can tell where I am at this point. I'm sitting down in Newport Harbor. We did a spectacular cruise last night. They did a fireworks show, and unexpectedly, we got a drone show too that was like amazing. First time I'd seen that in the Christmas parade, so it was really cool. Uh, So anyway, we'll be doing that. We'll be down here until Sunday evening, checking out the lights. So,
Where are
all
you
right,
berthed, John?
I'm just have my hook dropped in the center of the harbor. So not really berthed, just anchored. I came in and just claimed what was mine, like a
He's
true pirate.
really good at placement.
Yeah, we had the spectacular placement again last night. We put our ass end right up against the turning basin buoy, so it forced the boats between us and the buoy. So we were front and center. So good stuff. All right, well, let's get this party started. Anybody got anything you want me to address or anything like that? I know I am going to be reaching out to all of those that joined the beta program for Acquisitionaire. We are at this point looking for case studies and testimonials. And as far as like what I'm looking for in a testimonial is a few things, not a lot, not a bunch of detail and all that. Basically looking for, was it easy to set up? Did it, did it fulfill your expectations? And for those of you that actually sent mail and were doing it right and getting results, uh, we can build a nice case study out of that. Like Lauren got on with Brady and they did a little interview, and we were able to build a really nice case study out of her results. So that's exactly what we're looking for. A handful of case studies is pretty much all we need. And testimonials, like another thing was, how was the support? How were you supported when you bought the product? That's really important. A lot of people buy products and there's no support behind it. It's like buy and they really don't care what happens to you after the fact. We're doing ongoing webinar support with this as well. The first one kicks off actually tomorrow. If any of you are in the program, you should have got an email about the webinar tomorrow. It's actually not in webinar format. It's an open Zoom format like this, so we can answer everybody's questions. Not a lot of companies do that. A lot of times you buy a product and you're hanging out in space on your own trying to figure it out. We're putting a lot of effort behind making sure that we do everything we can to, to help support you. Now, that said, Acquisitionaire, and I've said this before, is a software to generate leads. Some people are expecting more out of it than that. Like, it's not a marketing campaign. That's something you attach it to. I want to really kind of drill that home, that Acquisitionaire is a traffic platform. If you're not ready for traffic, it's probably not for you. If you are a reseller, like we have a lot of resellers, we have a lot of people that bought our white label program to go in business as a lead gen company. Here's something I've always said this with SEO. You don't have to be doing things yourself to be selling them, right? You really don't have to find people that need what you have to offer and offer it to them. I see so many people that spend so much time trying to, do it themselves and make it work for themselves. If you're not a master marketer, it's not going to work for you. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. That doesn't mean there's not a lot of people that it would work for really well and they would love to buy it from you. Get all the hurdles out of the way. Just go right to who can use it and sell it to them. Right? There's no reason for you to put those roadblocks in front of you. Like, I did SEO for 25 years. I never did it for myself. If I would have put that hurdle in front of me, well, I have to do this for myself before I can sell it to somebody, I probably never would have sold it. I find somebody that's got the checkbook ready to solve a problem, and I solve the problem for them, right? I don't have to prove anything to myself or anybody else. If you've got something that works, that's all you need. And again, it's back to that confidence thing. I've talked about this the last few weeks. If you're struggling in business and you've got a good thing, and you've got the messaging right, it might be just because of the way you position yourself, the way you come across. If you don't come across strong and confident, they're not going to be confident in you, and nobody's going to buy in that situation. You know, they want to buy from a leader. They want the confidence is everything. A salesman that is not confident is not very effective. So, and this is whether you're selling the stuff yourself or whether you have people working for you that are selling it. But there's a lot of people out there that can use this product, and there's a lot of money to be made. And again, you don't have to be the expert in marketing to do this. You have to understand, though, that it takes marketing for acquisitioner leads to be successful, right? You have to have a marketing campaign in place. Without it, it fails. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I never sugarcoated this for anyone. Told everybody this from day one in SEO. Expectations are everything. If you're working with a client, expectations are crucial. They're critical. That your customer is not expecting something they're not going to get. Because if they are, they're not going to be happy. And it's going to cause a come to Jesus meeting at some point. And, you know, if I were you, I would recommend avoiding that at all costs. You don't want that. Be upfront, honest, tell them if it's right for them. Don't sell leads to somebody that can't use them. That's like I would never sell SEO to somebody that didn't have a website that had at least a capture form on it, right? If they couldn't at least build a list, there's no reason I'm going to take their money to drive traffic for them. It's just not, I never did it. My entire career, I never took money from somebody that I couldn't help. So expectations are everything. So basically you've got three choices here to make this a success. If you're in the market of selling it to others, you either have to find the ones that know how to market for themselves, and you're really just supplying a traffic source for them. That's door number one, which is my favorite option. There's door number two of connecting them with a marketing company that knows how to do it, and potentially get yourself an affiliate sale and make some money farming that piece of it out to someone else. You're supplying now both pieces that your customer is going to need. You're supplying the leads, and you're supplying somebody that knows how to capture them and nurture them and convert them. And then there's door number three, which I really would avoid at all costs because I think it's the kiss of death. And that would be you doing the marketing for them, selling them the leads and doing the marketing for them. Because that now everything rests on you. And it's like, I had somebody just this week say, oh, well, you know, why don't you do that for me? And it's like, that's like you wanting me to go to the market and buy the steak and cook the steak, but you also want me to eat the steak for you too, and do what happens after you eliminate the steak. It's like, if I'm going to do all that, why would I share the profit with you? I'm going to take it all. If you don't want to do anything, why would I give you money? Right? Why would I allow you to get in the middle of money being made if I'm going to do all the work? Right? It's like, I can take you to the gym. I love this one. I can take you to the gym, but you got to do the push-ups. Right? I'm not going to do the push-ups for you. Sorry. I'm not even going to say I wish I could, because I don't. But you know, there is work involved in, you know, in this, and you can work hard or you can work smart. So to me, the smart is offloading anything you can and figuring out how to make a buck in the process of that offload. So Again, those, in my opinion, those are your three doors, and I've expressed very cleanly and clearly the one I like the best. Always been there. All right, let me go to Roger there. Roger that.
Yeah. Hey, John.
Yeah.
So Michelle and I have had a deep discussion about our business life ever since Craig removed us from his group. Um,
I get a kick out of that every time I hear that. And not, not saying making fun of you or anything, but you're not the only one he's kicked out.
yeah, because our business made him squidgy.
Yeah.
I understand. So Michelle and I have reflected over the fact that part of our learning curve has been that she has helped several people, coincidentally mostly female, but not all, uh, think about what products they want to sell. And I've done the same. About probably 15 different people I've had kind of one-on-one lengthy phone calls with, where I've spent an hour to 90 minutes and we kind of brainstorm over what they might be able to do, how to productize it. So I was trying to specialize in how to package and create funnels. So I created two different names of potentially going the entrepreneurial route, one that won't make people squidgy, and being an entrepreneurial coach for productization for online entrepreneurs only. One is Funnel Talk, and the other is Funnel Me Rich.
Okay.
So
If you're
question I would
doing if you're doing advice, Funnel Talk sounds good. If you're trying to sell them something, Funnel Me Rich is a very catchy. I like that.
Yeah, so Funnel Me Rich was where we wanted to go. And my question was going to be last week when I unfortunately had to miss. Does it sound too get rich quickie? Because we're not trying to be in that kind of smarmy feel, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
question has pivoted a little because we've thrown it past a few people that don't have access to act gurus and other kind of coaches, and they don't even know what funnels are. So I'll say, "What do you think of this name?" And they don't even know what a funnel is. So I'm thinking,
Yeah. That could be a problem. And that really comes back to the A and ACT, the analysis. You don't want to use words that your audience is not familiar with unless you educate them on them. Like,
yeah, I don't, I
a lot of times you have to educate them on the language, and that can be a really big plus in your favor, because they're at initial onset, they're outsiders. If you bring them into the fold and you're the one that indoctrinates them and teaches them the ropes, then you become an integral part of their business. That's very powerful. That whole indoctrination process and teaching them the ropes, and you wouldn't believe how powerful that is. And I've done that with a lot of people over the years. A lot of people will come up to me at shows and stuff, and I don't know who they are, but they like know me like I'm their best friend. And it's because I've taught them through video and all that. And they've learned all of that from me. I'm sure they learned other stuff from others, but in a lot of cases, I was the one that indoctrinated them into SEO and taught them the language and taught them how it worked. And in many cases, they actually went in and created successful businesses out of it that have been running in some cases for over a decade. And it's really cool for me to encounter these people, and they're so gracious about it. It's awesome. So that's a really cool thing to do. So having that name up front, as long as you immediately address it and bring them into the fold, I think you'd be okay. The other option you have is to figure out their perspective of where they are on their timeline and really what they want, getting inside their head. And I'll always vote for that. If you can find something and name it as to what they're magnetically drawn to, that will always win my vote.
can you give me an example?
You would have to
Solidify
do
that.
You would have to give me an example of what it is that they really want from your research and analysis. From that, I can probably nail it down really quick. But like if they don't know funnels, but they know marketing, for instance, market me rich would be a perfect example of a slight switch. And again, I don't know that marketing is their buzzword, but I just use that as an example. So by doing like there's software out there that will kind of help find out what buzzwords are. Like there's one called BuzzSumo, and it's not cheap, it's a paid software, but BuzzSumo will tell you like what's trending in any particular niche. And it's very insightful to know what people are looking for, what they're interested in. And that's an integral part of analysis, is figuring that out. Like what is trending? What are people focused on? Because whatever they're focused on is what they want. It's way easier to sell somebody something they want than something they've never heard of. Because you have an education process in the way. You've got a speed bump in the way. Whereas if you avoid the speed bump, you're like, boom, you're right there. You meet them where they are and you take them to the finish line. That's always a
John, let me
path.
ask you for a decision A or B from your point of view, and that's this. If I stick with the word funnel, I think my offering is not going to be automatically looked at by a large opportunity base, people that want to get into online marketing but don't have enough knowledge to even know really what a funnel is. So I'm losing out there. On the other hand, maybe that is a mechanism of filtering so that you at least get to the people who have done some very basic evaluation of having an online passive income business, and they understand that funnels are there even if they don't understand what they are, and they know that they need to learn more about it.
Yeah.
So do I go with,
if that were the case, then yeah, I would go with funnel. If you're talking about people that are buzzing on the word funnel, doesn't matter that they don't know what it is. If they think they need it, that's the key. Like when I started doing website development back in the mid 90s, nobody really even knew what that meant, but the website word itself, it was buzzing in the industry. All businesses were like, oh, I need this website thing, but I don't even know what it is. But they thought they needed it. It was trending like crazy. So selling them on it was easy. It was what they wanted, even though they didn't understand it. They just knew, hey, I need this. Everyone else is getting it. There was a mad rush for it. But it was understanding that. Like I didn't go in and say, I didn't use the word like, oh, can I build you an online presence? Because they didn't know that. They're like, well, no, I don't want an online presence. I want a website. My competitors have websites. So it's so important to focus in on what they are familiar with and what they think, their preconceived idea of what they need and want. If they think they need it, they want it. Even if they don't know what it is or don't understand it.
Yeah, so Russell Brunson has done a good job of oversaturating the market with funnel this and funnel that, to the point that funnel fatigue became kind of a buzzword also. And I think it's a myth, like Zoom fatigue. Valueless Zoom is no good, but Zoom with John is good, right? So I think Zoom fatigue isn't a thing. I don't think funnel fatigue is a thing, because you need funnels to succeed.
Yeah, no, and Russell hits funnels really hard because his audience knows what a funnel is. I mean, he's hitting an audience of internet marketers. They've all heard funnel. They all think they need it. Just like when I was selling websites, they had all heard of website and they thought they needed it. So that, he is keyed in right on the money, and you can see by his success that he's doing it right. So all I'm saying with you is you need to really figure out who you're talking about and what they're keyed in on what they want. That's
And
really
you feel
important.
Funnel Me Rich hits it if I go with the word funnels.
If you find that funnel is something that your audience already wants, then yeah, I would go with that, or some variation of that. Just like Russell did. Russell focuses on the funnel. If your audience is focused on that they need a funnel, then funnel is the right word for you. If they're not,
Excellent.
then I would question it heavily.
Will do. I'll look at
So
BuzzSumo and I'll also be
yeah,
inquiring with a lot of the people I know in the entrepreneurial space.
yeah. I mean that's really go right to the horse's mouth. If you've got people you can ask that are your target audience, there's no better place. Like, I see people a lot, they'll ask their questions in what is like in a mastermind format, and they're asking a mastermind format that's not their audience, and they're getting a bunch of answers, and I just like go, oh my God, that's not who you ask. You don't do your analysis on a mastermind. You bring your analysis to the mastermind. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's
If the
perfect.
if the mastermind's not your audience, that's not where you get your research. You don't want opinions, you want facts. You don't want to base your future on opinions. That's really an important distinction.
And the ideal outcome is they have a funnel income generating machine for which they merely lack leads. Enter acquisition error affiliate.
Yeah, you've got a match made in heaven there.
All right.
If they've
Thank you,
got the
John.
funnel and the funnel converts, they are ready for leads. Yes. That's a
Yep.
match made
Okay.
in heaven. Now they
Appreciate
can
your
have a
feedback, John.
funnel. Here's another really important distinction. A funnel doesn't necessarily mean it converts. There are such things as shitty funnels.
Yeah. Well, I hope that's
And
not what I'm helping them create.
no, I'm not implying that at all, but I just want to make that distinction. A shitty funnel does not need leads.
Right. If you don't have analytics, if you don't have metrics, and you're not converting at an ROI that works for you, adding leads is just
Yeah.
going to sink you faster.
Yeah. Here's a really cool thing about acquisition error. You can generate leads really quickly, and you need to do that to see if your funnel even works. So somebody with a brand new funnel, typically what they would do, they're not going to wait 6 months for SEO. They need to know, is this going to convert? So they need traffic. So they usually buy it. So they'll go to Google pay-per-click, or they'll go to Facebook, and they will buy a data set. They'll buy like X amount of clicks to see their conversion ratios, because without the traffic, you'll never get the statistics. You can have all the Google Analytics you want. If you can't send a volume of people through, you're never going to get the metrics you need to understand if you're moving in the right direction. So you need a volume of traffic. Acquisition error can give you that volume of traffic almost instantly. Like I got over 600 leads in one day, like overnight, literally. That was way more than I needed to know if it worked or not. So if you have a funnel, let's say you send 100 leads into that funnel in one day, in 24 hours if your funnel's converting, right? And if it doesn't convert, you stop the leads. You make adjustments and you do it again. And hopefully
If you're
you're
doing AB each
adjusting.
time, you're honing in.
Yeah, you're basically getting your conversion in your funnel so you can scale. Buying 5 leads a day is going to take you, 20 days to get your metrics. Why not do it in 24 hours? Do you want to really wait 20 days to get 100 people when you can have it in a few hours? Doesn't make sense. If you're serious about this and you're committed and you're gonna do this, death to all, you're gonna do it or die trying. Time compression, figuring it out quick, is what's going to make you money faster. It look like you're spending it faster, and you will be, but you're getting to the profit quicker by doing that. It's like, don't prolong the pain. Don't drag out 20 days of your life to figure out it's going to fail. Fail it today and move on. Fix the funnel, fail it tomorrow. Fix the funnel, move on. And eventually, in a very short time frame, if it takes you 3 fails to get it right, and you're going to do that in 3 days versus 60 days, would you rather be making money 60 days out or 3 or 4 days in? You know, that's the way the successful marketers do stuff. They don't want to wait a year to get results. You know, I've talked about this time compression. It's probably one of the most valuable tools I've exposed to you guys. It really is, because we only have so much time. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So if you can compress the time and make yourself successful faster, you'll have the time you have left to waller in success instead of spreading out that doom for an extended amount of time before you get to success. That's just good business.
I don't know if the audience is appreciating what they're hearing, but I think this is one of the most valuable sessions that I've had from you. That and the big idea, but the accelerate failure so you get to the profit faster is brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, it's in alignment with my time compression thing. When I talk about investing and investments, I'm talking about time compression. When I'm talking about business and funnels, I'm talking about time compression. When I'm talking about ACT, I'm talking about time compression. My whole life revolves around time compression. And I didn't realize that until, not too long ago, and how important that is. But it's the thing that makes me different. It's how I can acquire so many skill sets so fast. It's time compression every time when I look at it. So it's very, very powerful. So let's go to Matt. You got to unmute there. There you go.
Got it. You hear me now?
Yep.
Hey, John, thanks for taking the question. Hey, super quick. So love the advice on the 1, 2, 3. Definitely looking for the people that can use it. That being said, I have a gap, as you said, there's a lot of folks that have gap in doing cold email. So I did a ton of research on it. My question is, I'm just seeing 2 slightly different approaches to the technical end of things, the setup. So if we look at the current mechanism out of acquisition error, the current integration, do I need to buy, somebody mentioned, I think it was Richard mentioned, I think he's got a bunch of different domains, .net, .org, et cetera, .com. And then he has multiple emails per, and then I've seen, you can get a subdomain. So maybe the answer is I need to do both, but from a technical standpoint, do I need to, can I set up multiple subdomains under a single domain to not worry about blowing out cold email, or do I need to advise, that there are, 5 or 6 different domains?
Yeah, and what you're asking, it depends on how many emails you're sending out. If you're just going to send out a handful of emails a day, your worries are very minimal on blowing up an email address. If you're using good tactics too, your chances and odds of blowing out an email address again are minimalized. When you're doing true hardcore spam, this is where this brings up the issue where, yeah, you need a whole bunch of domains and you're going to be cooking them on a constant basis. They're going to be just throwaways. That said, you do want to protect your main domain at all costs. So buying a secondary, like buy the .net. If you're on the .com, buy the .net just for protection, and send your cold emails out through that. If you cook it, you didn't cook your home. You still have home to send email out from to your list. You don't want to lose the ability to mail your list. That's the thing. You protect that at all costs.
Yeah,
That's
John,
your
is
home
the
base.
is the .net? It sounds like having a separate domain is your ideal protection.
Yes.
I am seeing some teachings around that is subdomain within the .com. So like instead of www.mattoliarcheck.com, it's http blog.mattoliarcheck.com or
That's
photos.
that's
Yeah.
more for websites, I think, than email.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know too much about running email on subdomains.
Okay.
It's my opinion though. If you cook the subdomain, you cook the main domain. I would separate it by an actual domain, not a sub.
Okay.
And
All right.
again, that's based on opinion, not true hard fact, because I'm not familiar with that enough to give you a hard cold answer on that one.
Okay, well, better safe than sorry. I'll definitely get that .net domain, and then if anybody has any hardcore experience on running it, I don't plan on doing cold. Obviously, I'm going to use the acquisitioner leads that are targeted, but
Yeah.
there's definitely a sensitivity to how did you get my information, so. All right, thank you.
Yeah. And if like one of the things about warming up, they talk about warming up an email. The warmer the email is, and I'm not talking about the email itself, but the email account, warming up the email account, the better your deliverability will be with that email account. The better chance it'll be of getting in their inbox instead of their spam box. And one of the things, a really important thing to warm up an email address is to get interaction with it. It's just like Google. Google looks at the interaction. If you got a million links and nobody's going to the site or following the links, Google knows, yeah, that's a scam. We're not going to put that in our search results. It's the same thing here. It's the same focused technology. You send out 100 emails and nobody responds to them. That's a little fishy. The service providers that are taking that mail in are going to see that, just like Google sees it. And they're going to say, yeah, this is spam. Let's put it in the junk folder. So now you just killed your inboxing. And not only, if you're running that on your main domain, not only did you kill your promotional emails, you killed the deliverability to your customers. Your own list, now you can't even get the mail into their inbox. That's why you protect that at all costs.
Right.
When you send mail to your customers, they usually respond to you. The service providers see that and they say, that's real mail. We want to let that through. That's warm. That warms up that email account. So
Yeah.
if you're doing cold email and it looks like spam and it's like, hey, click the link to see my stuff. Everybody's seen that and it's like, yeah, it's just another one of these guys. But if you said like, and I gave this idea to somebody that bought Acquisitionaire, they were selling high-end cars. And I said, if you're selling Lamborghinis, what I would do, the guy that's going to buy the Lamborghini, he is a very ego-driven guy. He's very competitive, more than likely, from research I've seen on these kind of guys. And they want something different. That's why they're buying it. So they are not interested in all the cars that are on the market that everyone has access to. They want the ones that no one knows about. So if you sent him an email and he said, hey, if you're interested in a Lamborghini, I have access to 3 of them that are not on the market that are very special. If you're interested, just email me back and I'll tell you where they are. Now, if that guy gets that email, what do you think he's going to do? He's not going to delete it. He's going to say, hey, what do you got? He's going to respond back to you. That just warmed up that email account. It's not a buy or die. It's like you're giving him an option to have an advantage, which is exactly what he wants. And it doesn't feel like a mousetrap. You're not making him opt in yet. You're opening a conversation. That's the first part of conversion. If you can't open a conversation, you're not going to convert. Remember, it's grab attention. That's going to be your opener. Like an opener might be 3 Lamborghinis not on the market yet. that's going to evoke curiosity. He's going to open that email. Then you say, hey, if you're looking for a Lamborghini, I have 3 that nobody knows about. Now he's going to say, really? He's going to want to talk to you. You think about the odds. Your odds just went through the roof of selling this guy a Lamborghini. Right? That's how you do cold email.
Yeah, that totally resonates. I have a friend that bought a yacht another 5 feet longer because he didn't want to stomach the thought of somebody else buying that and then pulling up beside him. So yeah, I'm quite familiar with that. Hey,
Guys,
at the end of the day, the only reason I really asked the question from a technical standpoint is I don't want to do the cold email because I'm not good at it. I don't want to go through the learning curve. I want to take the John option and go for the people that can do it. However, for clients that I have and know that are also not good at it, and if I can connect them with a service that's good, I don't know that I know enough to be able to say, hey, which services are going to be good and which ones are going to blow their IP address out of the water right from the start. So I just kind of wanted to get a base understanding. That's why I did it. But that being said, I think you had 2 referrals maybe that if we have clients that we want to refer and maybe get an affiliate or something along those lines, are those getting any closer to? Okay.
Yes.
Excellent.
And I actually have a 3rd one that is far more affordable now.
Oh, excellent.
The first 2 were going to be pretty pricey, but now I have a very affordable one that I think is going to be really good. So yeah, you'll be getting access to that pretty soon, possibly tomorrow. We might talk about that tomorrow on the webinar.
Hooray.
So,
all right. I'll be looking forward to that. Thank you so much, John.
And just for point of reference, you're talking to one of those guys that bought the bigger boat. I have the biggest boat on my dock. So I am one of those guys. So I'm very familiar with that cat.
Great. He's a great friend. Really, really great guy too. So thank you, John. Appreciate you.
All right, Richard.
Hi, John. This is kind of a quick thing, and I know it's off topic, but I wanted to at least raise a flag. I've gotten a couple of emails from you, and I am really, why in the world would you bother with Discord for a community when you can set up a Kartra membership area for the crypto club?
I'll tell you, it's really easy. It's a really easy answer, and you already know it. It's because of how lazy I am.
Well, you're going to lose people because you say that the hashtag you have is general. Well, there's 37,000 general conversations going on, and I'm not going to thumb through those one at a time. And there is no Dominator. If you type in Dominator, you don't get anything. So I can't even find the group if, that is a horrific. I mean, I paid for it for a while, and even working with it and learning the software, it's still a terrible. Discord is a great name because it is a completely discordant website. So anyway, if you could name the thread so that I could search for it and find it, it would be appreciated.
I think they just changed the naming because I hadn't even logged into it for a while. When I logged into it last week, they actually made me pick a new name for it. Like originally I had Dominator. I was like one of the first ones to have one of those accounts. So I got a generic name, Dominator. And then they just made me change the name of it. But, to answer your question of what the difference is between that and a Kartra group, I have a Kartra membership for that community. And all of the resources are in there. Everything that you really need is in the membership. So it's easy to access. The only purpose for the Discord was for allowing the group to communicate. And there's a lot of people that are in there that are communicating just fine. There's a handful of people that don't know how to use it. I've got to tell you, I'm not an expert or pro on it. I just put it together for those that knew how to use it because they asked for it. There it is. And it gives them the ability to communicate and say, hey, I saw this, or share videos, or, all that kind of stuff. So it is what it is.
Well, that's wonderful. If you just rename it with a hashtag that we can search, because other than that, you'll never, I can't find it if I wanted to. And if there's a crypto, I took advantage of your Black Friday special, but I don't recall getting a link to a members area. Maybe I need to go back and find that for the
Yeah,
members.
if you if you didn't, shoot me an email, I'll send you the login info for it.
Well,
Because
I
yeah,
know
there's a whole Kartra membership site that's got all the recorded calls. It's got all the stuff that I've put in there over the last 3 years, and it's all good stuff.
I know it is. Thank you, John. I'm sorry for taking you momentarily off topic, but
No,
on the
no
on the
problem.
other side, I dangled a little bait out there, and I've had two guys that came on board and said, "This is the neatest thing since sliced bread," and they both left their other jobs to sell this stuff first time. So thank you very much. We've really got this thing rolling now.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. You know, I always like to go with the path of least resistance. So finding the people that are already selling leads, they already figured all this shit out. If you find them, they're looking for a new traffic channel. So think in terms of that. Don't think of like what business can I sell leads to? That's a bad idea. That's the retail mindset. That's where you're going to jump into a full can of worms. Find the guy that is selling the leads to those companies, because he's already figured it out. He's not selling them leads that are not going through a conversion funnel. He's
Well,
already got the thing in place, and he's ready for what you're offering.
I figure the PPC advertisers, and I have all their data. So I know who's advertising, how much they're advertising. I can estimate how much they're spending based on the number. I mean,
Yeah,
I'll
that's perfect.
if I'll get a list of 200 advertisers for any 3 keywords. And the interesting thing is there's about 8 or 9 at the top that are running hundreds of different ads a month. And then there's the other 80% are running 2 or 3 ads a month. They're clearly not people who have it sorted out. But
Yeah.
finding those PPC advertisers is really, I mean, they're doing it. They're already paying for ads. I know who they are. I can tell them what their ads are. I can tell them what last time they brushed their teeth practically based on their PPC advertising. And they say, if you know that, yeah, we turned that technology towards lead gen. Want to see it?
Yeah.
It's really helpful. So
yeah, like a great big idea for that is, stop wasting your money on clicks. We can sell you the leads.
oh, I've got it, John.
Yeah,
And it's a technical term that most people don't know, but if these people don't know it, then they're not our market. And I can just say, I can give you MQLs for less than the cost of a click.
Yeah, there
They're
you
going,
go. They speak
what
their
the
language.
fuck? What are you talking about? And that's blowing their minds. Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually mentioned it to people who call me to make sales to me. And I have them calling me back and texting me back. How do I talk to you about it? How can I set up an appointment to find out about it?
So
yeah,
now you got my attention. What's an MQL? I've not heard that term before.
it is a technical term. The main thing is a lead, which is a pile of doo-doo in a bucket, which somebody scraped from somewhere, which is what leads are called right now. If you want
So
to
it's a marketing qualified lead?
a market qualified lead, meaning that the market has been, that particular lead has been qualified enough that you know that they're actually in the market for something based on a particular keyword, and they're vetted up to the point where they're ready for a sales call. That's what these leads are, and they meet that technical qualification. And right now, if you want those, they cost $125 to $200 a piece.
Yeah, well, that's beautiful. Speaking their language. That's using your head. That's going to get you to success very quickly.
That took the better part of 90 days to get to there. So it's been a long, I mean, I've been working on this thing full time since you said that you got that list and you sent me a copy of it. And I realized immediately that I wasn't ready for cold leads. So I figured I had some homework to do.
Well, don't beat yourself up over spending 90 days to figure something out, because you spent the time wisely in analysis.
Yeah, that's really.
You should spend the lion's share of your time in analysis, because once you get the data from analysis, it makes the creation so easy. It makes the big idea a no-brainer. It makes the whole funnel. It just lays out for you. Analysis is where you want to spend the majority of your time.
in the whole process, I came to another strange realization. I now know why I love Mission Impossible movies and Leverage and all those stuff, because they're all based on the only reason that the Mission Impossible can do it is because they've done their analysis. They know what the information is, and that makes all the other stuff possible. I'm going, that's my fascination with marketing, is really understanding the analysis so that I can predict what they're going to do, which is going to be ultimately buy something from me, which is wonderful. So thank you for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Matt, did we get you? I guess you still have your hand up.
I'm good. Thank you. I'll
Okay.
pull her down. Sorry.
Okay, cool. Let's go on to Sue.
Yeah, actually, you mentioned about testing the funnel. So right now, actually, I'm at acquisition air and I'm getting leads and I'm testing my funnel. So will you please? I just have a couple of questions. So means you were talking about compressing the time. So instead of right now, I had set like 5 or 10 leads per day. So instead of that, maybe I can go like 100 leads in one day and I can test my funnel. I can do that. And so that's my first question, that what is the ideal way you want us to go with acquisition air? And second one, I just want to know what is the conversion rate we are shooting for? Means basically, what is the ideal conversion rate for any funnel? So I want to know about these two things. So how many leads we can set to test our funnel, and what is the ideal conversion rate?
Okay, so the first thing, like with the time compression, like I said, you would be better to buy 100 leads in a short time frame to test them and figure out if your funnel is going to convert versus 5 a day for 20 days. That just makes the math makes sense. You'll have your answer in one day.
Okay.
And that will allow you to tune your funnel and try it again. Because you're not going to figure anything out with 10 leads. 5 leads, you're not going to get any kind of data from that. You need at least 100 to make any kind of an educated decision. So use the time. Also, make sure if you do that, if you set your campaign to 100 leads a day, make sure you pause it once you get those 100 leads.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to get 100, 200, 300, and that's not the goal. The goal is to do this for testing, to figure it out before you scale up. So do 100, pause it, analyze the results, fix what you need to fix, and then do it again. Now, the conversion ratio, what your ideal conversion ratio, it varies vastly on what you're selling, who you're selling it to, and what your profit ratio is, and what the value of a lifetime customer is for you. A very smart, savvy marketer will lose money to acquire a customer that is worth a high lifetime value. And I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I'll give you some examples. If you make only $1 on your first sale, and it costs you $5 to make the sale, you might think you're losing $4. But if that customer over the next year is worth $100, you just bought them for $5 and you made $95 over the next year. That's a good investment. When you can put $5 in and make 95 back in a year's time, that is a phenomenal investment. That makes business owners wealthy quickly. So you got to look at, what are you selling? What's the profit in the first sale? How much can you afford to lose and make it back in a time frame that makes sense for you? Most funnels don't make money on the initial sale. I'll tell you that right now, unless it's a high ticket. If you're not selling high ticket items, it's really important for you to understand the value of each customer and how much you're willing to afford to buy them. Because that's what you're doing. You're buying customers. You're investing in customers. An investment in a customer is a really good thing, as long as you know your lifetime value is there and you can keep these customers. Your customer retention is there. So these are all factors in anybody's business if you're just starting out, it's going to be really hard to figure this out. So you might have to make some swag. Have you ever heard of swag? Swag is a scientific wild ass guess. It's a real thing. And it'll take you a while to figure out if your scientific wild ass guess was right or not. So it's like you have to get a track record before you're going to understand your lifetime value of a customer. But it's really important that you do, or at least you're thinking about it. You know, and I've used this example for many, many years now of the woman that sold the maternity dresses. Her dress, there wasn't enough profit in her dress to justify paying for customers. And I told her it was okay to lose money, and she about flipped her lid. She goes, I have kids to support. I have to put a roof over their head and put food in their mouths. I can't lose money on this. And I said, you can afford to lose money on the dress, okay? She didn't get what I was saying. And I said, the dress is your gateway to 18 years worth of profit. Because you sell that woman that dress, you know, you have an insight into her life of what she's going to need for the next 18 years before she knows it. You now become a trusted source. You're a trusted resource in her life because you're telling her now, hey, you know, before the baby comes, you might want to be ready and have these products on hand. She doesn't have to make the products. She just has to find them and get in the middle of the sales process and make money. She can make money for 18 years. So if she loses $20 on the dress, but she makes $5,000 over the next 18 years, think she's sad? I wouldn't be. I'd be looking for throwing as many $20 bills down the toilet as I could do. So lifetime value is a very important concept in your business. So they're really the short answer is there's no answer to your question of what the conversion should be, what you strive for. You got to look at your business, your profit, you know, how much it costs you to make a sale, and what's that worth to you.
I was just looking for range. Means, for example, is it a 2 to 10% or something like that? I was just looking for some kind of range from you. So that means I know that my funnel is working.
Yeah, you're hunting for a unicorn with that answer, and I don't sell unicorns. I can't give you an answer. I couldn't even try. So the answer is if you can live with the results, then that's where you want to be. You know, and again, keep in mind you might lose money to acquire a customer, and that is okay, as long as you make that money back. Like there's a lot of people, Perry Belcher, he specializes in acquiring customers, and he will do it every time by losing money. He'll do a loss leader on the front end, knowing that he's going to make that money up real quick. He probably makes it up before the sale's even concluded. Like a perfect example is he sells you on his copy codes, his fill in the blank copy system. And he's selling you the laminated things, you know, it's like fill in the blanks. Here's the sheets. You're going to be a fantastic copywriter if you just fill in the blanks, right? I mean, well, no, that's pie in the sky, but he sells it. He makes it very attractive, and he gives it to you for free. All you do is you pay the shipping. Yeah, I mean, he might make a little bit on it, but he's probably going in the hole. Honestly, realistically, by the time he pays, I can guarantee he's going in the hole. By the time he pays for his advertising to get a customer, he's going in the hole on that offer. I guarantee it. But as you're in the shopping cart, he will say, by the way, I'm sending you the laminated things. Would you like to buy the course for $97 where I teach you how to use it? Right? Because now you go, well, I got this really cool thing, but it's not going to do me any good unless I know how to use it. So you just went from paying shipping to paying $97. Now you probably paid for his ad campaign and he's probably he's in profit before he even closed the deal with you. And he started off at a loss. So now he's closing the deal, he's going into profit. Now he's going to give you another upsell. How would you like to come out to Vegas and spend 3 days in my presence with all these cool people and rocket your success to the moon? It's only $497. So now he went from losing money on shipping to making profit at $97. Now he just put $500 of profit in his pocket on top of it.
See, I don't have any high ticket offer. My highest offer is like 300 that I'm going to increase to 500 next year because it is some offers are converting well, so I can increase them, and I'm providing lots of help and resources and all. And
That's
yeah,
okay.
and actually I liked in your act, you mentioned that you really don't like upsells because people really get upset about all the upsells and all. So
Yeah.
generally, even I don't go for upsells. So
And that's okay. You can always do follow-up offers. In most cases, I won't do like, a lot of these guys, they'll do like 10 upsells in a row. And that just, to me, that's just too much. That's doubting. That's just over the top. So, and I don't like that, but I don't mind like what he's doing there. That makes sense. A 3-step upsell offer, because he's adding more value to something that you want. So that to me makes sense. I don't have, offers. I don't split my stuff down to try and, make $1 on the first offer. Most of my stuff has enough value. I don't need to do that. And it's back to the whole thing of, if I'm right for you or not. So people don't mind paying a little bit more to come into me. I don't have to funnel it off and say, oh, I'll give you this free thing if you pay the shipping. That's not my style either. But it works. It works really well for Perry. He does really well with that offer. So I'm trying to just show you guys, like, there's not one way to do this, but there's one way to think about it. It's lifetime value of the customer. How much can you sell them over what period of time? And how much are you willing to pay to get them? If I can just
many times, actually, many people, they just sign up for the freebie and then they unsubscribe. So what is the lifetime value with them?
There's no lifetime value with a subscriber. There's a lifetime value with a customer, purchaser. So if you're not converting, if you're not figuring out how to convert those customers, there's a problem in one of 3 buckets. The first bucket is you haven't figured out the market yet. That's your analysis. The second bucket is you haven't figured out how to communicate the value to that market. And the third one is you haven't put the offer in front of the market. So the problem is always going to land in one of those 3 buckets: analysis, creation, traffic. It's very easy to see where your problem lies if you look at it through those goggles. But if I can get you guys to think in these ways, it will do you tremendous benefit across your business life. Massive. You will get massive value out of that. Just those little pieces of wisdom.
No, thank you. I really appreciate. I appreciate your training. I appreciate ACT, and I also appreciate Acquisition Air, because I participated into many giveaways, and most of them were just actually getting the freebie and then unsubscribe immediately. You don't even see what I have to offer. You are just getting my freebie and running away. What is this? So,
well, many times when you're going to freebie giveaway places, who goes to a freebie giveaway place? Somebody that wants freebies.
yeah,
It's not somebody that wants to buy. It's like going to the nickel store trying to prospect customers to a high-end Lamborghini sale. People that buy Lamborghinis don't shop at the dime store. So it's understanding your market, understanding who they are, where they are, what they like, what they do, why they do it. and then positioning your offer in to them, appeal to them, cater to them. So, and you know, I say this every week. I say, if you listen, I'm saying almost the same thing in a different way every week, but the underlying message does not vary, not one iota. It's all the same. And I'm going to say it as many times as I have to say it in as many ways as I have to say it so everybody gets it. So I'm going to go on until I expire. All right, Jeffrey, what do you got for us today?
Hey, I'm having a challenge with SendGrid. Is there an alternative to
Oh
use
yeah,
with acquisition here?
there are many alternatives.
But it integrates.
SendGrid is the first one that we've actually integrated and made the integration easy. But we're piping the data into the Google Doc, right? The Google Sheet. From the Google Sheet, it can be piped into anything. You can use Zapier, whatever you call it, and you can pipe that lead into any program using a connector like that. I just saw this last week. It's on my other computer. I'll have to look and see what it was. But there was a program, a competitor to Zapier that was a one-time fee, unlimited one-time fee. The only problem with Zapier is you got to pay for every zap. Like every time a lead comes in, it zaps it to the other program to connect it. You pay for each zap. You don't pay much. It's very inexpensive, but ultimately, if you're doing thousands of these, you're paying for thousands of zaps. And this program, and again, I don't remember what it was called, but it's a competitor to that. You might be able to find it by Googling, Zapier competitors. But it was a one-time deal, and I think it was because they're new and they're trying to acquire customers, so locking them in on that lifetime deal might be a total bargain. But you can do that. You can zap it. You can connect it to anything you want. And the idea is really to get them into your funnel. Because
Right.
you've got them in this cold system, this cold universe, and you're like the guy at the fair. Hey, come over here. Come on, come into my booth. That's what you're trying to do. You get them on your list, and then you're speaking their language. You warm them up. You convert them into a customer. You show them the light. Show them what it's all about.
Okay. Thanks.
Absolutely. All right, we got Woodrow up.
Hello, everybody.
How's it going?
Season's greetings. Real good. Some challenges. Thank you for presenting to my group
Yeah,
the other
no
day. I
problem.
really appreciated it. One guy got turned on. So he's emailing you, Frank Schneider, my
Okay.
partner in the Mad Music business.
Okay.
I do have a couple of questions for you, Almighty One. And one is a little off track, well, it's all on course for me, but it's about Forbidden Elvis. And, you've all seen the website come along. And originally, the website was put together to sell the project to a record company so they would press vinyl records for us. So we really used a lot of Elvis images because we didn't give a shit because, it wasn't out for general distribution, But
Yeah.
now we're going out for general distribution. And I have a friend of mine that's a producer that said, "Oh, they're going to sue your balls off." And I said, "Well, I don't give a shit if I get a cease, excuse my language. I don't care if I get a cease and desist letter." And he goes, "Oh, no." He goes, and then I check with my lawyer and he goes, "Oh, no, they won't do that. They will make a claim against your property." And I thought, I don't want to fight with Elvis people. I don't have the strength. I mean, I had a vendor of Craig that I felt ripped me off for a couple of grand, and I let that go. I don't have the time to fuck around and have a range war with people and lawyers. You know, everyone hates lawyers, including Shakespeare. So my question is how, and this is what Mike Jenkins, my computer, genius associate, I said, we have to sell Elvis without showing his image, without and there were, and I, what my suggestion to Michael was just show a big silhouetted figure, and over that figure wrote forbidden.
Well, if you look, if you look at the funnel that I made, that was the Elvis shift, that's exactly what I did. I didn't show a picture of Elvis. It was just a graphical portrait outline. It was like a silhouette of his portrait.
But couldn't you use Elvis impersonators, Woody? I mean, there's a million Elvis impersonators out there.
Yeah, you could do that as
Kind
well.
of the forbidden Elvis. You think about it, it kind of rhymes. You know what I mean? You guys are the same audience.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to stump you, Woody, but like that's like the obvious that just hit me. Why aren't you partnering with Elvis impersonators?
Yeah,
Same people.
Yeah, I would have a couple of them people.
I'll call on Gregory right now, because Gregory has a website where you can go and you can hire these people. Gregory, do you know what I'm talking about? You threw this out like a year ago.
Santana?
Yes, Cameo. Go to Cameo, and then at Cameo, it's cameo.com, I believe. And then you go through all the celebrities there, and then you can have them make a recording for you, an audio recording, a video recording. You get licensing rights to use them, but it's called Cameo.
I would get 100 Elvis impersonators, and I would actually call your video 101 Elvis impersonators talking about Forbidden Elvis. That to me would be the kick-ass video to promote it. And so what if it cost you $20 a video? That's buying the wedding dress to get it for over and over right there.
Also,
that gets you out of the legal battle too.
Well,
here's something else. You cross-pollinate with that guy, whoever that impersonator is. Like we had one at the Long Beach parade last week, and you get somebody like that who has a following, and now you're helping each other out by him promoting you and you promoting him.
Yeah, don't get 101 impersonators, Woody. Get 1,000 of them and turn them all into your affiliates.
Yes.
And then as they're doing their stage thing, go, by the way, sign up for the Forbidden Elvis and you'll get access to the king.
Yeah.
Hey, one other idea along with that is if you that networking with their fan base, if you did some kind of contest where they would reach out to their fan base, like, hey, you vote for me so that I could win this, you get all of their
an Elvis impersonator competition.
Yeah.
Then you get them all. Then you get them all to fight against each other and bring you more business.
That's awesome.
I love that. Well, listen.
I knew sooner or later I'd come up with an idea to spark this. It took me a while. Sorry, Huey.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
I love you, Tim. I love you, baby.
If you don't have a clear path out of that, I don't know, Woody.
Well, listen, here's my other challenge. I would love to get this out for Christmas buyers. That last minute Christmas list. So now, and I want to sign on for, the white label, because I do have some interested people to sell this if they have the time. Because, AA, I'm calling your service AA. AA takes time. But anyway, how can I get my Elvis thing out there to people, Christmas buyers, that last minute gift?
Well, it's not an easy, it's an easy answer, but it's not an easy implementation in a quick fashion, unless you could find the right person that knew how to do what I'm going to tell you to do. But there's big data out there, and you can buy mailing lists. You can buy cold mailing lists. It's not leads like what we're selling of people that are actually searching in real time. But I guarantee you there is a data list out there somewhere of Elvis, the spouses of Elvis fans. Because who buys a Christmas gift? They buy it for someone else. So you need to figure out who's the someone else. So if you buy the data list of who all the Elvis fans are, and then you buy the data list of their spouses, that's who you email cold. Now you got to find a company that's going to cold email them for you in short order, because you got what, 11 days left? You're running out of time. You're pinching this one pretty hard. But that's your firing solution.
Well, should I even do it or fuck it? I just feel like
I don't know that you have time to do it, but
yeah.
that's your answer. You ask me, how to do this by Christmas. That's how you do it. I don't know that you can pull it off. But ultimately, think about that. If you had all the spouses' email addresses for Elvis fans, and you said, hey, do you need that last minute gift for your Elvis fan? That's going to go, they're going to go, what? Yeah, that solves their problem. What's the stocking stuffer they haven't thought of? Or for the guy that has everything, he doesn't have that.
Hey, Woody, Woody, you might want to go to Facebook and just put in EFM. There's a group of 7,000 Elvis fans.
Edward, Frank, Mary, EFM.
Yeah, Elvis fans matter. That's what it means.
That's classic.
Oh, Woody, awesome. You can get that list. You can get that list, and those wives would be happy to sell them for birthdays and stuff like that.
I didn't hear you totally. Say that again, please.
The list that John was talking about, you can't use it for Christmas because you don't have enough time, but they have birthdays and anniversaries and stuff like that that they can buy gifts for.
Oh wow! So put their birthdays in the Kartra, and Kartra will mail it to them.
Yeah, no, the wives will know their birthdays. You will have that list of the spouses that you're selling this to.
That's kind of fragmented though, because their birthdays are going to be all over the calendar. Why not do it for Elvis's birthday? Because you're talking about Elvis fans, you're talking about fanatics.
Holy cow, John, you are awesome.
Pen down Elvis's birthday and say, give Elvis a gift on his birthday, and it's the gift back to you. That's a campaign that is a winner.
I think, Woody's too often in this thing. I think you're trying to focus on how do I get the sales today, not realizing that you've got something that'll give you sales and money for the next 10 years if you build it right. Or you can make a bunch of quick sales right now and make a couple $100. I'd rather take $100 a month for the rest of my life than $100, $200 right now. Just my 2 cents.
Well, you know what you're talking about, Tim.
So before we move on, I gotta just give a shout out to Grandpa Santa here. I see Jim Kaspari on there, and I'm like, he's got an awesome new look there with the red shirt and the Santa beard. That's
yeah, I figured that much. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it started in November for cancer awareness, and then it just kept rolling. So,
oh yeah, I've tried to do
look
that.
Wise and mature.
I've tried to do that before, but it just drives me crazy. I get to a certain point, I'm like, oh no, forget it. I'm out. I can't get past that scratchy part. Just kills me.
Yeah, I've been super busy. I missed a few meetings. Great to see you all. Happy holidays.
Yeah, yeah. You must have missed a few because that I would have noticed that. That's awesome. All right, back to Sue.
Oh, and I put
Yeah, I have a question.
Elvis's birthday is January 8th, so you still gotta hurry, Woody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have a question about acquisition air. Right now, I bought the lowest package just for my leads. But if I want to upgrade, means what will be my price now? Because I didn't go for the agency that time. So
Okay, so
just
we still are running the Black Friday pricing, and it was supposed to just be for the week of Black Friday. And I've decided until we take off promoter, I'm gonna leave it in place. But as soon as we get a promoter, like we're gonna start having promoters in January, and then I have to remove it. I've got to put the prices back to support the promoters. So
okay.
it's
So I have chance till January, so I can decide in December. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
that's no problem. Now the low end program, we call it the private plane.
mhm.
It's a different platform than the agency and the white label. So I don't know that your campaigns are going to move over. It's kind of like we shut this one down, we open the next one up. I don't think we've got a migration for the low one to the mid or the upper. We can go from the mid to the upper much easier, but it's not a big deal because it's just for you. It's probably just a couple of campaigns for yourself. Shouldn't be that big a thing.
It's not a big deal. Yeah, that's not another big deal. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. What else we got going on here? Is everybody ready for Christmas? Got your bags packed? Santa
John, what promoters? What do you mean by promoters?
Affiliates that are going to do affiliate webinars with me, promote Acquisitionaire out to their audiences. So my traditional thing of how I sell my stuff through other people.
I'd be interested in being an affiliate.
Yeah, I'm interested. I will be a promoter. Yeah.
Yeah, well, all you guys have to do is go to the Internet Dominators website, internetdominators.com, scroll to the bottom and it says become an affiliate. It's that simple.
Yeah, I'm already your affiliate. Yeah.
If you're already an affiliate and you want to do, like, let's say you come to me and you say, hey, I have an audience and I think I can put 50 people on a webinar for you. Just let me know. I'm happy to schedule that. We'll do a webinar. We'll put your links in there and we'll promote it.
And John, I just pulled up and sent out to my list what you and I did last year. On December, it was December last year, and basically that recording, and then it goes right to my affiliate link is the button that pops up. So it's like, here's the replay, and it just basically says December masterclass. Doesn't say December 22 masterclass anymore. I just replay it every December with John. I need to do that with Acquisitionaire for like a March or something masterclass.
Yeah, I mean my info doesn't change. It's evergreen.
But I have a recording that's personal to you and me, and that's how I play it, and then it goes into my affiliate link, which is what a lot of you guys don't understand. I mean, I do that with John. I think it's like the fourth time I've done it, but now I have a ready recorded replay that's not time dated anymore I think it's for the ACT program. And I replay it every December as the December masterclass. And somebody signed up again. I don't even know who they are.
Yeah, I figured you did something because I saw a couple of affiliate sales come through for you.
So yeah, we'll do one we'll have to do one for Acquisitionaire, so I have that recording of you and me on a Zoom call. Yeah, same thing.
John,
Absolutely.
I have Friday live. Every Friday, 2 p.m. I have live. And that show goes on 8 platforms. I also have a webinar platform and I also have a podcast. So I would really like to promote you, means basically, and I can create the event and I can promote and we can surely take it from there.
All we do is we just pick a date and a time. We set up a webinar, we record it, and then you have an evergreen sales system to That way, anybody new that comes in, you say, hey, check this out. This is really cool. They watch the video just like everyone else, and you'll make sales. Make sales. And my favorite day of the month is either the 31st, 31st, or the 1st, because one of those days is when I'm paying my affiliate commissions out. A lot of times I'll do it either on the last day of the month or the first day of the month, depending if it's a weekend or whatever. But that's my favorite day of the month, is the day I get to pay all the affiliates, because that just reminds me of how much money they brought me.
Do you also have ideas, concept on promoting our program with us being an affiliate? I mean, I have some ideas, but do you also have ways to promote?
Oh, for you to promote, to get people on it?
Yeah, to promote your business. Yeah,
Oh,
to promote.
gotcha. Yeah, typically what I'll do is I'll create what's called a swipe file. And it's a set of emails that you send out to your audience to get them to sign up for the webinar, or, and even the way we do the webinar can be different. Like you can just do a pure evergreen where we don't even do it live. We just record it, and, and you set it up evergreen. There's one where you can do a thing where they have to opt in, they have to register to actually watch it. I like that the best. If you're going to do an evergreen webinar, that is my favorite way to do it, because once they sign in, we can start a follow-up process to send them emails. If you just invite them to watch a webinar or whatever, you don't have any control over follow-up. So when you get them to opt in, now you have control. You can make sure they follow up, make sure they watch the webinar.
When you say we follow up, are you talking about myself or your team?
No, this would be yourself, but hopefully you would have an autoresponder system.
Okay.
And, if you don't, I use Kartra, and I actually have evergreen campaigns in there that I could give you. Like if you had Kartra, I could package up an evergreen campaign and we could import it right into your Kartra account. Then you just change the
I could probably change that over to group funnels, because I don't want to spend another system because I'm paying this and this and this.
Sure. Yeah, if you have Groove, you would just have to recreate it. It's just not a big deal.
Yeah, if you have all that information, I can transfer it to
you don't have to have Kartra. There's no requirement of anyone to have Kartra. You're welcome to use any system you have, and you're familiar with it. You know how to use it. You're comfortable with it. It's just I like Kartra because I can help you if you have trouble with it.
Gotcha.
If you don't need that, then use anything.
No, it's not I just don't need it. It's just that an extra expense that because I'm already grandfathered with group funnel, the group CM.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. There's
John,
people that are in all kinds of different funnels and they love them, and that's great. I have no problem with that.
John, what you're doing with the Kartra? Now you sent me that one as you were doing a sample one day for the site pop, and basically everything's in that I could make that a funnel and sell site pop for you, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go through it fine tooth, but I think the webinar doesn't, like, I think on the webinar you don't say the direct link. I'd have to change the link to my affiliate link. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I have a really cool sequence when I do a webinar. Typically, I'll do it on a Wednesday. So we'll schedule the webinar on a Wednesday, and we give a, whatever the discount or the special offer for the webinar is, we give them that up to Friday night at midnight. Mm-hmm. And inside Kartra, I have timers on everything. So they get a couple of email follow-ups before Friday night at midnight saying, hey, it's about to expire. If you're serious about this, make sure you get in so you can get the best. And, on the one that we do, it's for Site Pop. So we give them 3 months of free service. Like once they sign up, then they get 3 months free service before they have to start paying the monthly bill. I may wind up doing something like that with Acquisition Air as well. They'll pay the setup fee, but then they get 3 months of the platform service for free. And that would be the, the deal up to Friday night at midnight. If that expires, then we send out an email, Saturday morning that says, hey, sorry you missed it. It's a real bummer. But if you want to get in on it still, we'll still give you a deal. It's not the 3-month deal, but we'll give you 2 months for free. And, I get a lot of sales on the 2-month deal. I get a ton of sales Friday night right before midnight. I mean, they literally just flood through. If the audience is right and it's big enough, they literally flood through. And then same thing, we say the 2-month free deal expires Sunday night at midnight. Now we've trained them that we're going to do what we say because we already cut the first deal off for them. They got to see that live. So now when the Sunday night comes up, they're like, oh, this is serious. I need to do this now. So we get another flood of orders right before midnight Sunday. And then for those that miss that, Monday morning, guess what happens? They get another deal. And it's not the 3-month, it's not the 2-month, it's the downsell. On Monday morning, we open up a new offer, which in Acquisitionaire would be the private plane offer. And we basically take the attitude of, hey, we get the first offer was expensive and it was for serious agency owners and this and that. And I get why you probably didn't buy it. You probably just need it for yourself. So we're going to make a special offer for you guys and we're going to sell you the private plane. If you just need this for your own business, here it is. Here's the deal. It's now available.
This is a really great structure. Very great. Really, really amazing structure.
Yeah.
Hey,
And we'll pick
John.
up a bunch of orders there. Yes.
Hey, John. So when we're in Kartra, we go to the affiliate and we look at one of your programs like Acquisitionaire or whatever, and we click on it and we find ourselves showing the listing for the links, right? Those would be our specific links, right?
Yes, that's
But
correct.
that's
Those are the
different.
links you want to use.
Yeah, so that's different. If we want to hand that out to a client or something, that's an individual thing versus what you're talking about, which is going and doing a webinar and all that, right?
It's not different in the link. You use the same link, but you just give it
Same
out
link.
to a
Okay.
massive amount of people.
Okay. All
So
right.
you're
Got it.
distributing. Like if you look under your affiliate program for the links for Acquisitionaire, you'll notice there's 2 in there right now.
Right.
One of them is for the full pricing where they said they pay the setup fee and then the regular monthly pricing. And then there's another link for the Black Friday special. And like I
Right.
said, the Black Friday special is going to be good until we do our first promo. And then we'll have to reclaim it. But if you wanted to offer the Black Friday special out to your audience right now, that link is live. You
Okay.
could use it.
Yeah. All right. I was trying to understand the difference between doing a webinar. You were talking about doing a webinar.
Yeah, the webinar really is it's just me helping you do a presentation.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So it's like it's what happens is it kind of goes like this. You come onto your audience, you say, hey, this is Randy Powell, thanks for being with us again. I have a really good guest for you that's going to talk about something that's really important to your business.
Got it.
Then you introduce me, and what you're doing is you're transferring your authority to your audience onto me
Got it. Okay.
instantaneously.
Right.
And then I pick it up from there. We kind of interact in there talking about how cool it is and what it's done for you. And I talk about how it works. And then at the end, we make an offer together. And the offer is your affiliate link where they get the special for the webinar.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. And I've done this very successfully since, the first days of my marketing online. It was so easy for me that I never did paid ads.
Let me ask you just one final question then, because I'm thinking, how can I leverage this with live events? You can only speak on one thing, or could you speak on a couple of the different programs?
You mean like me personally?
Well, if you came to a live event that I was hosting and I said, hey, we want to talk about this and that, and I introduce you and you take over, are you more comfortable would you just want to do a one, like if it was just acquisition air or just the lead generation? I mean, would you just?
I can tell you a presentation is best focused on one thing.
Okay, that's what I was
But
getting.
how I could pull that off for you, if you wanted me to sell two things at your event, how I could pull that off is we start off with the presentation for the first thing. We make the offer, we close the sales, and then we say, by the way, I'm going to be speaking again. And there's going to be a couple other speakers talking to you. I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you another really cool thing. And then I come back and just do another presentation, sell another thing, and it's isolated.
Or if it's a 2-day event, you could do this day 2.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So if you mix the two offers together, though, you will kill your conversion ratio.
Got it.
Because now they're making multiple decisions. Do I want this one, or do I want that one, or do I want them both?
Yeah. Right.
Instead of deciding, oh, this thing's awesome, I gotta have it. That's one decision.
Right.
High conversion ratio on a single point of decision. All right, Nick, go ahead.
Hey, thank you. So I got a question on setting up affiliates. We're making a shift from going from, high touch channel partners to just wanting to be able to say, hey, anybody who's talking to small to medium sized businesses out there, they should be able to offer Workberry services for hiring. And I'm in the process of setting up a WordPress affiliate plugin because that seems like the easiest way to go. My question is this: I want to send, if I select you as an affiliate, I want to send you a link or something. Here's the marketing materials, and as you do what you're going to do with that, how do I identify the leads that come back to me as yours? Because you're just sharing my video or my PDF or my webinar. Is there is there any tricks there?
Yeah, basically with any affiliate program, when you install and set up the affiliate program, each different affiliate that you add in is going to get a unique set of links to share. Now, those links might not be the link for the webinar itself, but it's the link to the purchase. Sometimes it's a link to the webinar. Sometimes it's a link to the sign up page. But what happens when they use that link, it's almost like a pixel, a cookie pixel
tracker,
that cookies them. So whenever the sale is made, that affiliate gets credit for it. And then
so that's what I want to embed. So like I create a explainer video or whatever, a promo video. When you send that to your clients, I want it to track that came from you. It's the same video that I'll be using. Is those materials would have this pixel in it?
No, well, the link itself is what has the pixel in it.
I see.
So what I would do in that case is I would make the promotional video generic. Don't put a link in the promotional video. Don't refer to a link. Click the link below or click the link attached or something like that. That way your affiliate can send that marketing material out and they put their specific links in it.
I see.
Like for me, I will make a physical page for every one of my promoters that has their link embedded into it. And then that's their page to promote. And they have an affiliate link to promote it, and their affiliate link is embedded right into it. So that's why I use Kartra. It makes it so easy for me to clone a page. I can have a pre-existing sales page. I can clone it, just change their link and give it to them. And make it super easy.
And you could put all of your marketing messages or whatever on that link. So it's the link itself that was unique, not.
Yes, correct. It's always the link. It's always the link itself. The only way to do it another way is if they're already in your customer base. Like in Kartra, you can do it because if they're already in your Kartra list, you can actually track what pages anybody in your list went to in Kartra. So you could track affiliates that way if you wanted to, without having them opt in or anything.
Yeah, these are going to be like low touch. They're just, this might be somebody who's trying to sell software to manufacturers, right? And then, you know, it's a long sell cycle. So they're trying to show value, and they're saying, hey, I remember you were having a problem finding second shift machinists or whatever. Try these guys out, and send them a link. And I want to make sure that whatever percentage of those turn into actual sales, I can pay the affiliate.
Yeah. I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage knowing the capabilities of the WordPress affiliate module that you're using, but I can tell you within Kartra, or any program that's got affiliate built into it, generally you can create any page you want, and you can have affiliate links created for it for all your affiliates. Like it has a database of all your affiliates, and it automatically generates all their links for them. And they can log in and get their links and then promote them however you want them promoted.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I've studied a lot of WordPress type plugins to try to do your affiliate program, and trust me, they all come with loophole headaches that Kartra will simplify it. All right. I would rather pay, I think I'm on the $200 or whatever a month with Kartra. I'd rather pay the $200 than to play with all those loopholes and everything that can go wrong with them. Kartra handles it for me. My opinion only.
I got it. I took a look at Kartra and it looks fine. The problem is if I suggest a third CRM, they're going to hang me over here.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's why I always tell everybody, you know, there's no requirement for Kartra. It's just, it'll make your life a lot easier. But if you already have a CRM, are you talking about like WordPress as a CRM?
No, I've Zoho and Fresh Sales and HubSpot was the last three that we've done, you know.
Okay.
So
I would look into whatever program you're using for your sales, like whatever CRM you're managing your sales and your customers and all that. I would look there for what they offer for affiliate, because they'll probably have it. I don't think you have to go to WordPress and try and intertwine all that stuff. Any CRM worth their salt is going to have an affiliate.
Yeah, and to me, it's like you could always find it inside the CRM, like, you know, and if you've gone through so many different things trying to do it, the first step is one of the reasons why I think you guys are in the ACT program is you go to the source and create your business plan, and then find the tool that matches it. Don't buy tools and make it match your business plan. It never works.
Right. No, I mean the reasoning for various CRMs was this was before we even thought about doing affiliate programs. This was,
yeah,
you know, and like, you know, you're lucky if you have, you know, something like this with Kartra. All right, you know, John knows more than half the people I call at Kartra. All right, and I know quite a lot about Kartra, but John knows more than me. But every time I'm confused, I don't call Kartra support anymore. I text John. You're in this program. I'm telling you, John knows Kartra better than many Kartra employees.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you.
All right. Who's up next? Anybody got anything interesting to share or ask? Or I'd tell you what I should tell you, but I don't even know what that is. It's like I've probably forgotten more than I know, but if you do ask, it's there and I can recover it for you.
I will tell you this. All right, John, a certain person who has connected you and I, all right, I may have convinced him to move some of his stuff back towards Kartra.
Oh yeah, I could feel the pain there. There's a lot of pain going on.
I think what I'm going to do for him is I think I'm going to talk with him this week. I think I'm going to move it, at least get his websites off of Kartra. I think you used to. I said I'll run your hosting on your websites. Keep your website, not Kartra, off of this thing he's part. This Go High Level. I said separate the two. Don't keep them on the same server. That whole thing goes down. Your website goes down, and everything you can to make money goes down at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're feeling the pain right now over there. Remember what I think you said it and I've said it, is like, first thing it's going to hit is there's not going to be enough customer support. The next phase that it's going to hit is when everything goes down and it takes down everything. crashes, and it's a lot of people are going to get a crash, and then all of a sudden they're going to wish they had a backup. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say there was quite a few incidents not that long ago that there was something went down and no one could log in, including people's clients who were on it. Like they couldn't get in to do it was very nasty in
Yeah.
there.
Well, I mean, honestly, there's nothing to say that couldn't happen with Kartra too.
It
I mean,
could, but I have a backup in case Kartra goes down. Do you?
Yeah, yeah.
I do too.
So,
I mean, I never put everything in one basket.
yeah, it is a good idea to have your backups of all your data. I was just thinking about that the other day. It's like I have so much stuff on YouTube, and if YouTube just all of a sudden decides to ban me, it's like, oh my God, that's a big chunk of my life gone that I'd have to really
John, I was wondering why you put it on YouTube rather than on Kartra. Why didn't you have all your videos in Kartra, where if
Kartra won't
goes,
take it. Yeah, most of my videos now are 2 hours, and Kartra just won't take a video.
Too much. The size is too big for Kartra. I've got a lot of customer stuff that their stuff is too big for Kartra.
Yeah. So I should if somebody knows a utility or something that would download all of your videos off YouTube for storage.
Oh yeah. Oh sure.
That would be
Yeah,
really
actually, there are free utilities I can send you, and you can download your videos for free.
Does it do all of them like in a batch? Or
Oh,
one at a
I
time?
never tried on batch, but I don't know. They might be having provision for batch, but
yeah, that would be really cool if you could batch download them, because I mean I have hundreds of them.
Your phone, that phone thing you have, John. I have those in those USB external hard drives with all my videos in case I ever lost them. I have all my videos saved here on my own stuff, as well as wherever it's at.
Yeah, I admit one of my flaws is not having done that. I'm vulnerable.
And I'm still trying to work my way to get to a payment system instead of PayPal. I'm still using PayPal to pay my affiliates.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you go after authorized.net? It's very authorized.net is universal. It's a real merchant account.
Yeah, I have an authorized.net, Richard, but I'm talking when it comes to taking and paying my affiliates. So like
he's talking about outgoing
money going out, as I'm using PayPal to go out, which is what John used to do before John got screwed. And I'm like, I'm trying to learn from John's mistake before it happens to me.
Yeah, you don't want that mistake, I'll tell you. But on my affiliates now, a lot of them I pay with Zelle. I use Zelle to pay a lot of them because
I never thought about that, because my money's I'm on Chase, and Chase is Zelle.
Yeah. So I like that. It's super simple to do, and they get their money instantly. I still have some of the bigger ones, they like it wired, which I don't understand why they would want to wire over a Zelle, but hey, whatever they want.
Well, doesn't Zelle have a limit of like 1,000 a day or something?
Mine is 4,000.
Okay. Yeah, mine's 1,000 a day.
I think it's $1,000 to individuals and 3,000 or 4,000 to companies.
Yeah, I'm paying all mine companies, and it's 4,000.
Yeah.
But that's a day, if you had to pay them over a couple of days.
Well, I mean, I know, John, on the 3rd and 4th of every month, I've got to walk to the mailbox at least once a month to get your check. So, I mean, it keeps my poor mailman from being upset with me because I never go out there and get the mail anymore.
That's awesome. Yeah, I still have some old school ones that just go in the physical mail. I don't physically mail those checks. I have bill pay. I have online bill pay with Chase, so I have everybody in there, and I just say how much, and the checks go out. And, it literally takes me maybe 15 or 20 minutes to pay all my affiliates once a month. And like I said, I don't mind doing that. I like to do that. It reminds me how much they brought to me, and it makes me appreciate them. So it's a cool thing. Another thing, we're kind of talking about hacking there, like losing data or being shut off or hold on just a sec, guys.
Hey, Jim, I'm trying to figure out how to hit this, this calendar link you gave me because it's Google and I don't use Google Calendar.
Yeah, I already got your notice you accepted, so.
I hit the accept button, but I've got to mark it on my calendar, and there's not like most calendars have like the Outlook simple click on and you can add it to your calendar. This one doesn't.
Sorry about that.
It's all right, man. I'll find a way to get it on there.
Okay, guys, I absolutely, even though we used to rely on Google so heavily for SEO, I proactively try and avoid Google whenever I can. I hate putting videos on Google because I know in the middle of my video they're going to be showing somebody else's commercials, and Google is getting so over the top. I mean, you're getting 4 or 5 messages and or ads, and now the ads you can't skip some of them. I mean, it's become a full-on advertising platform. Anybody have an alternative? Seeing how Kartra apparently won't take the larger videos. Anybody else have another system that actually can store videos at a reasonable price?
I don't have
Vimeo.
anything, Richard, that I don't, if I can't have it on Vimeo. So my Vimeo is limited. All right. But I do a lot of YouTube stuff that is unlisted. But Vimeo is usually what I'm using. So anyway, yeah.
If it's unlisted, does that mean you aren't going to get the commercials?
I don't know. I haven't watched it enough to see whether they have commercials or not. I've not seen that many commercials because most of my videos are not, they're not, if I'm watching your video, Richard, and it's got commercials in it, you should be getting paid.
Oh no.
No,
YouTube
no,
actually
no,
nowadays they will run ad, and even if your channel is not monetized, they won't pay you, but they will put ads on your channel. It's not necessary you have to monetize your channel to play ads. Google will play ads on any channel.
Yeah, that's how they pay the bills. This video on a tech background, video hosting is extremely expensive just for them to do it. And they own half their service at this point.
Who owns half of what?
They own running video ads is expensive. So Google owns around half their service. They don't own all of them because they've had to expand. So there are other companies who also host Google stuff in order for YouTube to still exist. Because they've grown that big and they don't own everything. So what they try to do is buy the other companies out, but that doesn't work. So like Microsoft owns part of Google's infrastructure and Google owns part of Microsoft infrastructure, if that makes sense. But across the world, so like Twitch, which is owned by Amazon, they shut down. It got so expensive to run some of the streaming platforms that they actually shut down. Twitch Korea got shut down about a week ago. So all those folks who was making their money off of being influencers on Twitch in Korea, you can't stream or watch streams from Twitch in Korea because they shut all the service down. It was too expensive, and then the government wanted them to pay something, and the money wasn't working for them, or nothing that was worth for them continuing, so they shut it down.
Does anybody have it on? I tried to get the Amazon AWS, which is
the back end of that.
I'll come up with a vulgar acronym for that later. But trying to get send email and stuff through that is just awful. But they do host videos, I think. Does anybody know about hosting videos on that Amazon AWS?
I know Craig Duswalt, that's where he hosted a lot of his for years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cheaper. You can but you got to deal with the back end of the craziness of Amazon. Because
I'm hosting my videos on the web. I got some lifetime deal from AppSumo, and I'm hosting my videos on the web.
Oh, okay.
But the maximum capacity is only 500 gigabytes. So once I run out of 500, I may have to look for other places.
Yeah,
what do you mean by 500?
500 gigabytes for the.
Okay.
Yeah, you can host yours on AWS though. You just got to figure first when you go back there, you got to pick the right product so you're not on one of the other products that are a little bit more enterprise or more expensive. when you pick, because they got about 7 or 8 different video hosting products in the back end. So if you pick the wrong one, you'll pick the one like a big ExxonMobil like company would use, which would charge you a lot more than what you actually need.
Yeah, well, because the AWS has an attraction in that if you're on their, little guy service, I mean, you got to have hundreds of hours before they even start charging you 1/3 of a cent per minute or something. I don't even know how the pricing works on that, but it seemed to me that it was rather low. And it just occurred to me on the call talking with you guys now that maybe Amazon might be a better place to host videos at a reasonable price and not have to be putting up with commercials and all the stuff that goes on with YouTube. Because there's always trying to drag your customers away from you over to something else that pays them. And so that's, Google's only interest is not in showing your video, but showing their own videos and generating money. And they'll bitch slap you in a half a second if it means never make another buck.
So I use AWS for hosting all of our data and all of our transactions, API connections, a full big database, and it's far more cost effective, but it's not particularly user friendly. It's not built for the consuming public. So it's Richard, you might think of storing them there at AWS as an inexpensive storage, or what Tim suggested, get a couple of those terabyte hard drives and store your stuff there. But for usage, I like to go to Vimeo because they're not being commercialized, and I'm talking directly to my audience that aren't seeing a advertise. When I put videos on YouTube, it's more promotional, like to click here to learn more. I'm the advertiser,
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I'm only looking for a host, and if they'll host it, that's all I care about, because
they'll host it for you.
Any alphabet soup, 4,500 character long link or whatever, I don't worry about that because I use Rebrandly for all my links, and I have ACO1.com for anything that relates to the category of one, and I have ACO.1, ACO1.VIP for the very important leads. So I can short link any link that anybody wants to give me. I'm not worried about having an ugly link. As a matter of fact, I want to have branded links on everything, which is why
I use prettier links for that, Richard. I take and I put it, so I would put timslet.com/Richard, and I would have the video, and then most people wouldn't know what the actual YouTube link was. I did all the time with like John's stuff. Like it's almost half the time if you went to timslet.com/act, it's something of John's I'm promoting.
Yeah, I would never use a link that wasn't branded. I hate YouTube links and all those other things, because if I can do ACO1.com/anything, I put EX just for an explainer video so that my sales guys have got an explainer video they can use and that sort of thing. And so that makes them, /call if you want to book a call. They're very, very short, very easily memorable, and it's not garbage soup. And if I can do that with Amazon, I think maybe
you can do that. Yeah, absolutely. Because I do it all the time. Like I got plenty of videos stored in Amazon, and I pay like a few dollars a month for all the videos I got with all the storage I got messing with them. So yeah, that'll be good. It's just not user friendly on the back end because it's for really developers, and you just got to make sure you're picking the right product for what you need, because they got a lot of products that do the same thing, but they are for different use cases. And if you can get over that, then you're fine.
Is that the AWS?
Yeah.
Amazon Web Service? Yeah.
Yeah. You go back there. Besides the craziness that is back there, if he picks the right one, he'll pay maybe cents a month, because I don't know how much, video content and stuff you're going to have up there to put in there, but
yeah.
You can get over that, then you're good.
I have multiple terabyte and real-time backup constantly going. All you have to do is lose one magazine 2 weeks prior to publishing, and you'll learn about backups real quick. But I'm just looking for some place where they can just store it, and I have a link I can just send people to see it. I don't have to put up with all the commercialization on YouTube and all that stuff. So I had forgotten about AWS. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
I also have a Protoplay. A Protoplay account where also my videos are there. I have 3 backups for my every video. I have it on the web, I have it on Protoplay, and I also have it on my hard drive. So Protoplay also means basically if you want it, yeah, you can just have the link. It replaces YouTube. So Protoplay also, so these are the three choices I'm using: Wave, Protoplay, and my hardware.
Super. So John, you okay? You're back?
Yeah, I had to deal with the law there for a minute. It never fails. Never fails when you're anchored in the Newport Marina. The sheriff is going to come mess with you.
Really? Newport? Which marina down there yet?
Yeah, well, I'm in the anchorage basically in the center of the harbor in Newport. And they always pick the most opportune times to do it too.
Oh, no, John, yesterday while I'm doing my mastermind call, two solar salesmen walk up my lawn. All right. They walk at an angle when they're walking up my driveway, and then they turn an angle when they see the no soliciting sign so that they can pretend they didn't see it. And to choose that point in time to knock on my door 4 times. And it's right here. I can see them right out the window this way, they can see me. So I went out and tore into them. Just tore into them horribly.
John, I can't stand it. I've got to stand it. Woody, turn your damn camera off. We don't need to see you eating your lunch or suntanning or anything like that. It's really annoying. Please turn your camera off. I can't stand watching you strip yourself and do sunbathing while we're talking about marketing. It's just too much. Please, I just can't stand it.
Woody's showing you the freedom lifestyle. Come on, Richard.
And he's muted
Welcome
to
to West
boot.
LA.
That's awesome.
I gotta go jump on my next call, John. Thanks for a good call this week, guys.
All right, yeah, we're at the 2-hour mark here, so I think we'll call it unless anybody else has anything they want me to address here real quick.
Confirming the 22nd, 21st next week, Thursday.
Yep.
Okay. Also,
Yep,
too, you
we're
better
on.
check your calendar because you have appointment dates open on Christmas Day, unless you want to do stuff on Christmas Day.
Oh, well, hey, if anybody's masochistic enough to take that, I don't know.
No, I took the next day. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, have a great week and get out there and finish your Christmas shopping and buy one for Elvis too. All right, guys. Have a great one. We will talk to you next week.
All the
Later,
shortest
guys.
going
Bye-bye.
ashore. Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Thanks, John. Bye, everybody.